Which of the two seeds am I, as spoken of in Matthew 13? Of the two seeds spoken of in Matthew 13, one is born of God's seed, and the other is born of the devil's seed. The purpose of studying the New Testament is to understand those born of these two seeds. The book of Revelation clearly reveals the true nature of those born of these two seeds. In Revelation 22, it is written that if you add to or subtract from this book, you will not enter heaven and will be cursed. Disaster. Didn't the theological doctors and pastors of traditional churches add to or subtract from the book of Revelation? From Shincheonji's perspective, you all have added to or subtracted from the New Testament book of Revelation. Despite this, just as the shepherds of Jerusalem at the time of Jesus' first coming called him a heretic, today's shepherds of traditional churches also call Shincheonji, who is well versed in the book of Revelation, a heretic. The true heretics are those who add to or subtract from the New Testament book of Revelation. Just as those who called Jesus a heretic at the time of his first coming were true heretics, today's shepherds and theological doctors of traditional churches, who add to or subtract from the New Testament book of Revelation and interpret it in a different way, while calling Shincheonji a heretic, are the true heretics and false shepherds. To determine who is orthodox and who is heretical, Shincheonji has repeatedly proposed holding public examinations based on the New Testament book of Revelation among Catholics and Protestants, but not a single one has responded. They labeled Shincheonji a cult in order to prevent their followers from going to Shincheonji to learn the word of truth, the revelation of the New Testament. However, in reality, they were the true heretics, ignorant of the truth. If they were the truth and the light, why didn't they take the test? Shincheonji is the 12 tribes, recreated in chapter 7 after being sealed by God's revealed word following the judgment of the apostate chosen people in chapter 6. Those in chapter 6 are those born of the devil's seed among the two seeds of Matthew 13, while those in chapter 7 are those born of God's seed. Shincheonji, which belongs to chapter 7, has mastered the New Testament book of Revelation, while the Catholic Church and Protestant churches, which belong to chapter 6, have added to and subtracted from it. So who is orthodox and who is a heretic? Who will enter heaven and who will go to hell? The New Testament book of Revelation gives the answer. See Revelation 22:18-19.